The device screamed in a way no machine should. Red symbols flooded the air above it, sharp and urgent, like wounds opening one after another outside the hangar. Something massive moved metal on metal. Boots striking in perfect rhythm, the alien woman froze. For the first time since she had entered the station. Her hands trembled. "Turn it off," she said quietly. The human mechanic did not look up. He just tightened a screw, frowned and said, "It is already off. That is the problem." They called the place Dock 9. Though no one remembered Docks 1 through 8, it clung to the dark side of a dead moon, patched together from scrap hulls and old cargo rings. Ships came here when they did not want records, when they did not want questions. The mechanic's name was Eli Mercer. He was not special, not a hero, not a soldier. Just a man who fixed things that should not still work. Old engines, broken life support units, translation bands cracked from bar fights and cheap wiring. He worked alone, sleeves rolled up, grease always under his nails. He spoke little, listened more. That was why the alien woman chose him. She arrived without guards, without ceremony, tall still. Wrapped in dark fabric that caught no light, her skin was a deep, muted blue, like stone worn smooth by time. Silver hair pulled back tight. Not a strand out of place, her eyes missed nothing. "I need this repaired," she said, placing a small device on his workbench. It looked simple, a translator. Wrist-mounted, old design, alien make, but familiar enough. Eli picked it up, turned it over once, then again. "It is damaged," he said. "Yes, I can fix it. I know." That was the extent of their first conversation. She paid in advance, too much. Always a warning sign, but Eli did not argue. He never did. As she turned to leave, he noticed something else. The way she walked, controlled, measured, like every step had already been decided. Not a traitor, not a diplomat, something else. The translator was strange, not in its structure, that was solid, elegant, even. Layers of logic stacked cleanly, but the limits bothered him. Hard-coded delays, blocked pathways, fail-safes buried so deep they strangled performance. It was like someone had built a powerful engine and then tied it down out of fear it might run too well. Eli frowned and leaned closer. "Why would you do that?" He murmured to no one. He ran diagnostics. The translator lagged behind spoken language by half a second. Unacceptable, dangerous, even. In tense situations, he optimized routing, cleaned redundant checks, rewrote a small section that kept looping for approval from a system that no longer existed. The device hummed softly, better, faster still. Constrained, he hesitated. The ethical locks were obvious now. Not broken, intact, intentionally preserved. He could leave them, he should have, but he thought of the times mistranslation had gotten people hurt. Deals gone wrong, arguments turned violent because a word arrived too late. He sighed. "I am not breaking you," he said quietly. "I am letting you do your job." He adjusted the limiter thresholds, did not remove them entirely, just loosened them. The device pulsed once. Warm in his hands, satisfied, he leaned back. That was when Dock 9 shook. Heavy, distant, like thunder with purpose. Eli looked toward the sealed hangar doors. Outside, something was arriving. She returned an hour later, this time. She did not bother hiding her tension. "You changed it," she said. Eli blinked. "I fixed it." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Not anger, calculation. What did you alter?" "Signal routing, reduced latency, cleaned some old restrictions that did not make sense anymore." She stepped closer. The air felt heavier around her. "Those restrictions were not old," she said. Aylin met her gaze, calm, unimpressed. "They were afraid," he replied. "Whoever built this. They did not trust themselves." Silence stretched between them. Finally, she extended her arm. "Give it to me." He placed the device on her wrist. It locked in place with a soft click. For a moment, nothing happened, then her breath caught. Her eyes unfocused, just slightly. Outside the hangar, the thunder stopped. Replaced by silence, a perfect, obedient silence. She closed her eyes when she opened them again. The woman Eli had met was gone. In her place stood a commander. Her name was Valkara, Supreme Voice of the 13th Fleet. Her people did not use rank lightly. Authority was shared, distributed, balanced by tradition and restraint, but restraint had failed them. The translator was not just a translator. It was a command lattice, a neural bridge, a device that carried not only language, but intent. Every soldier in her fleet carried a receiver. They believed it impossible for one will to override the others completely. They believed the ethical limiters made it safe. They were wrong. Valkara felt them all. Thousands of minds, aligned, waiting. She could stop their hearts. She could make them kneel. She could send them to burn a world. Her hands steadied. She turned to Eli. "You should run," she said. He shook his head. "Why?" "Because if my people realize what you have done." She paused. "They will kill you." "Did I break a law?" "You broke history." Eli considered that. "Well," he said, "history breaks people all the time." Something flickered in her eyes. Brief, dangerous amusement. She left without another word. The 13th Fleet had been stalled at the edge of human space for weeks. Negotiations failed, threats followed, lines were drawn. Valkara stood before her council. Alone, they spoke as one voice, amplified through the chamber. "You exceed your authority. I execute my duty. You endanger balance. I ensure survival." They moved to override her. They could not. The realization hit them like ice. Valkara felt their shock ripple through the lattice. Fear, rage, betrayal. She could end it instead. She opened the channel fully. They felt her restraint, her choice. "This power was always here," she said calmly. "You simply lacked the courage to face it. They attacked your mind." She endured. Human ships waited on the other side of the void. Weapons armed, crews silent. One command from her would end it. She remembered the mechanic's hands. Steady, careful, kind. He had not asked who she was. He had simply fixed what was broken. Dock 9 was being evacuated when the soldiers arrived. Alien infantry, tall, armored, moving with terrifying precision. Eli did not resist. They dragged him into the open. Knelt him on cold metal, a rifle pressed to his neck. Valkara descended from the command craft alone. Her presence stilled them. "Leave us," she ordered. They obeyed. She stood before him. "They want you dead," she said. "Figures. You gave me absolute command. I gave you a working device. You removed the last barrier." Eli looked up at her. "Did you ask me to put it back?" She did not answer. Far above them, fleets aligned. Human and alien waiting. Valkara raised her wrist. The universe held its breath. She sent one command: stand down. Every alien weapon powered down simultaneously. Human sensors lit up in confusion. Valkara knelt, not in submission, in respect. "This power will die with me," she said. "I will dismantle it, scatter it. Ensure no one ever rebuilds it." Eli swallowed. "And Earth?" "Earth will live." She stood, turned, and left. No words, no promises, just silence. And for the first time in recorded history, an alien fleet retreated, not in defeat, but in trust. Dock 9 drifted on. Eli went back to work. Some things, once fixed, never needed to be touched again.